It's time for some hostile therapy.
Hi everyone, it's Ayesha. I just wanted to kind of clear the air a little bit. Like I keep getting asked the same question. Ayesha, are you in a relationship? Are you seeing someone? Is there someone special in your life? I guess they want to take me on a date or whatever. And so they keep asking my status. And I just want to clear the air with my status. Like, Ayesha, what is your relationship status? Well, my relationship status. So, gosh, I'm so glad we got that cleared up. I really am. Yeah, so I'm glad you guys asked. I'm glad I could answer those questions for you. And yeah, let's go from there. Like, so how's your quarantine been? What have you been up to? Any new wines? Hmm?
All right, welcome to another episode of Hostile Therapy with your host, Big Red. And returning again for another show is Ayeshia from Ayeshia Chronicles. Welcome back, Ayeshia.
Hey, thanks for having me again.
If you happen to notice, I'm sweating. I am doing this show right now. And I think when I last checked, 88-degree weather in the house because my AC has gone out. And I'm trying to survive right now. I got this cup of ice water and a kitchen towel. I don't got no regular towel to use right now. I got a kitchen towel. So if I pass out, keep the show going. Call 911,
Okay.
tell them to come to my house, and I'll be good.
Wait, now I can call 911 and keep the show going. But you know what? That'll be an interesting show. We're going to see
Yeah.
how fast they pull up in your hood. That's a show on its own.
It will be. You keep talking. At some point you'll see the ambulance bust through my door and carry me off. And my daughter will probably just be sleeping in the background and then wake up talking about what she hungry and she ain't even gonna wonder where I'm at. Back at some point.
That's exactly what it's going to be.
All right, so
She's going to wake up hungry. That's all it is. She might actually
that's
see
the
you.
only reason she's gonna wake up. I come back from the hospital, passed out, with an IV in my arm. She's not gonna ask how are you doing. She's gonna ask where have you been. I'm hungry.
Pretty much.
Living.
And if you have COVID and if it's for dinner for today.
Man,
Priorities.
got COVID. I'm not getting out. It's not even gonna be for dehydration. They're gonna say I have COVID automatically. Okay, so it's been a crazy week or so, and one of your favorite all-time R&B singers, August Alsina. Yeah, one of your favorites. You know, you got all his music, you got all his posters.
I don't even name a song this man is featured in. One less thing, but go ahead.
Not one song. What about all the posters you had?
I probably did, but
You ain't got no records or nothing like that. You know, the autograph pictures. You won't be at his concerts, buying them tickets, standing in line for hours like it's Black Friday.
See, I know I look like I'm 19,
See?
but in real life, I'm not. Got to be some type of childish shit.
You fooled me. I didn't know. I didn't know any different. But if everybody don't know the background story, you and me know, but August Alsina popped up after 4 years of having an affair with Jada Pinkett-Smith, who is married to Will Smith, superstar actor in his own right. He just all of a sudden did an interview with Angela Yee and talked about this affair and how Will Smith gave him permission to do it. And, you know, all these rumors came back swirling about them having an open marriage. And like, see, I told you right there, they have an open marriage. He gave her permission. Then Jada Pinkett all of a sudden say, we need to sit at the red table. I need to talk about stuff. And Jada Pinkett had to interview Will Smith, and Will Smith looked like he was in pain. Will Smith looked like someone just told him his best friend died, which maybe Jada Pinkett getting her back blown out by another guy that he invited to spend time with Willow and Jaden hurt his feelings, and he was the one that was sleeping with his wife, even though supposedly they were broken up. But it's gotta still hurt when during the interview, Jada was like, I just wanted to feel good. You know, I hadn't felt good in a long time. And this, I think he's 24 or something like that. This 24-year-old guy did something that I couldn't do. Even with all the money I got and people are calling me a sex symbol around the world, and you mean you went for this guy with the hair that looks like Khalees in her prime when she first came out? You went for this guy. And I was wondering, like, this guy showed up 4 years later. I'm like, why did he not do this a year after? Why did he not do this 2, 3? Now, why the 4th year? And then I got my answer today. All of a sudden, August Alsina happens to release a song with Rick Ross called Entanglements, a word that's reached popularity all of a sudden because of Jada Pinkett-Smith on said interview on Red Table Talk. I don't know if you heard it. I've heard some of it today. I brought some of the lyrics with me. Would you like to listen to them? Or let me read them for you?
Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Let's get to the chorus. August Alsina, Rick Ross, the chorus. The definition of entanglement is when you're tangled in the sheets. Girl, I know that we don't call it a relationship, but you're still fucking with me. Entanglements is when you tangled in them sheets. Entanglements is when you're tangled up with me. Entanglements, the number ones here, it's the biggest is when you're getting in too deep, tangled up with me, tangled in them sheets. That's just one part. That's just the chorus. Let me see. Let me get to the other part. I'm trying to get August Alsina's part. Let's see. I'm being honest, baby. Don't want no strings attached, right? You just want a nigga that's gonna break your back. I'm half. No, I ain't about to play with that. You left your man to fuck with me just to pay him back. Don't you know that's cold-hearted? Once you gone, no coming back. Girl, you funkin' with a youngin'. I be doing shit you like. Don't be talking when I see you. All you hear is love sounds. Going round for round, you want a nigga that take you down. This is a special bond, but it ain't true. What's your thoughts on that?
Let's back it up. Let's back it all the way up.
Okay.
Yeah. Your first statement was that August Alsina came out after how many years?
4 years, give or take.
Let's start on that because we never really actually discussed that. Okay. Everyone's so upset with Jada because the vision that they saw was, like you said, a hurt Will Smith at the red table, which she brought herself to Will join. Let's go ahead and start with that. Okay. Think about what happened. You realize he dropped the album, so he needed that attention because obviously nobody knew who the hell he really was prior to that. Okay.
I didn't. I heard of him, but no.
Heard of him?
Couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
And because of this drama now, it's probably going to be number one on the charts, which is one of the reasons why I refuse to actually listen to it and play it because I don't even want to give him any credit.
Mm-hmm.
Because what had happened 4 years ago, both Will and Jada had already went through, healed, and kept it from the public eye.
Yeah.
Him saying that he got permission from Will, my personal opinion, I'm a little silly. So I believe he probably watched Hitched and was like, he learned everything he knew from Hitch, played that card well, got in the family, whatever. Either way, all right. So Will admitted that they were going to divorce, not because of August.
Yeah.
They were just at a point in their marriage where they were going to divorce. And me, as a person who's been through that already, I know when your mind's made up, ain't no coming back from that. So you can't tell me I can't do what I want to do in between there because obviously, and even in his song as you quoted, and even at the red table, Will admitted he was doing his dirt too.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is Jada ended up in more of a mental relationship with August. And that's the one weakness that Will has. He admitted that with Tupac. It was the one person that he could never actually feel up to because they had a mental bond with Jada that he couldn't dare get to. So yes, that's why it hurt him, but he won't crying like it's brand new. It's because America and they nosy ass decided to jump right back in their business again and resurface all that hurt they didn't squash from before.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally think that August owes the whole entire family an apology for bringing that bullshit back up just to sell a fucking record. You got lame that
I mean, I know it's lame, but
it's lame. It's smart marketing. It's very smart. And
yeah,
I can't knock him for that marketing. Because that's literally the only way he was able to do that. But
yeah,
people are like, oh, they're so mad at Jay, like, oh, she hurt Will. Look at Will's face. No, we hurt Will by bringing that shit back up and allowing it to be entertainment for us. Because they've already healed of that process. Will did his part, Jada did her part, and they came together as one and they healed. And we never knew their business until now.
mm-hmm.
And now we've taken it, we've made a mess out of it. And they thought they were going to correct it by coming to the red table and clearing it up in the air. And it just made it worse because
Right.
she tried to stay professional. She made up a new TI word, entanglement. Everybody went crazy. And then he said,
Yeah.
aha, now this is the name of my record. So I have zero respect for August Alsina. I can't say I can't say I don't have respect for Jada and Will because that's their marriage.
Yeah.
A lot of people have entanglements and situations for free and know it every day.
Right.
The only difference is them to admit it to the world, and they still are together, and they're doing what the whole marriage thing is about, is through thick and thin, sickness and health, and all the other stuff that they vow to do. They're actually doing it,
Yeah.
and so people are looking like, oh, Jada's wrong. No, the only difference is Will probably had multiple ones, so she stuck with one. Yes, he was younger. Yes, Will has a lot of money. But that don't keep people. And the whole, like you said, made her feel good. It could be feel good physically and or mentally. If you've ever been in a relationship with someone for so long, you get tired.
Yeah.
And you know that. And it's good to even get a compliment, more or less physically. Especially some young guy who your kids' age, and they find you hot as hell, and your husband going across the world with some broke chick that probably don't even get on Jada's level. You've seen the pictures of him out other people. So it's a lot of childish stuff. He played those cards well, or August if he need to do for that attention, because other than that he wouldn't have sold a record.
Right.
Well, not to anybody our age anyway. And now he's number one with the people our age, because why? We don't have anything better to do than worry about married rich people struggles while we are single and broke.
Right.
That's just my
Well, here's the thing I always say about this. Like when he had the interview, and then, of course, the rumors we've heard over the last, I think, they've been married for 15 years, I think now. I think they got married in 90, well, it might be 20 years.
I was about to say it's 20-something years.
Okay.
You thought it was 20-something years for a little boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Years ago that you healed from.
Yeah.
Nah.
But see, I've always heard, like I said, I don't know how true it is. I'm saying alleged, that they always had an open marriage. And this,
right, I've always heard that too.
When he did this interview, the way he stated how the relationship went, he was like, well, Will gave me permission to do this. And I can't even see, like, okay, let's say you and your husband were on the outs, and then this young guy just come up to your husband like, well, I know y'all getting ready to, break up and all, but you mind if I freak your wife? Oh yeah, sure, young man. We're already on the way out. Don't worry about that.
Nope, that went like this. Oh, you and Jada not getting along? Y'all were awesome. I look up y'all all the time. What's going on? Like, y'all brought me and y'all not together? And she had a weak moment, and she was over there like, yeah, we want to talk to him or somebody because nobody's listening to her. And he out doing his thing. He pissed. They ready for divorce. And he was like, I think Jada's a wonderful person. Will probably was like, well, go ahead and keep it in. Go have her.
Yeah.
Every people hurt people say stuff to hurt other people, and they say stuff out of the lack of care.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably was granted the go ahead, but not in true intentions. And even if it wasn't true intentions at the time, once they realized the mistake they made and they decide to get back with each other, then that's null and void. It doesn't matter anymore. Whatever decision was made then, it's fine. They done did it. She done slept around. He done slept around. But they decided they want to mend their marriage again. So all that shit goes back to the wind. So for people to bring that back up is disrespectful as hell, because at the end of the night, them two sleep with each other, and everybody else is watching them on television.
Yeah. Well, he said some more disrespectful stuff along with that song. I'm not going to read the whole lyric, just the part where he's talking about, let's see.
You don't like it. I don't know if you.
Yeah,
I don't know how it is for me to.
Let's see. I'm on my way. Let's see. Okay, I'm on my way. I'm gonna pull up when he dip. Guess he's talking about Will. He always thinking me and you fucking. If he see me, he gonna trip. House with no key. Girl, I know I fucked up your hair. Lay you down and hit it right there. Lay you down, hit it right there. That ain't my girl, but I got the key to the crib and to your car, to the crib and to her heart. That's just more disrespectful, I think, that he said in this whole song. All to sell records. He wants somebody told me earlier today he's trying to get his 15 minutes of fame, and that's wrong. I'm like, that's 15 more than he had before.
Exactly all it is.
Yeah.
And they're giving it to him. You guys are giving it to them. Like, what in the world? And then y'all, I've heard people mad at Rick Ross for even featuring on it, but why are you listening to it? Why did you even click on it? That's just, every time you listen to it and stream it, he makes money. The hell?
Well, let me ask you something.
But y'all quick to boycott R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. Pick a struggle. Pick a struggle.
Well, let me ask you something. If you were in that situation, you're Jada, you're married to Will, and August comes up, says, oh yeah, this happened. We had, a relationship 4 years ago. Would you just ignore it, or would you have an interview and bring all that stuff up?
Being who she is, how can she bring people to her red table to open up to him if she can't be open enough to go to a red table herself? That was a bold ass move. The only thing is, it backfired on her. It backfired.
Why you say?
Because of it didn't backfire, and it didn't backfire because of what she said. Honestly, the only reason it really backfired is because Will had been worked up again, and he looked emotional in his face.
Okay.
The fact that he had to bring it back up in public. Now, if Will looked like he always did, and he was laughing and joking, I promise you, wouldn't nobody care. But the biggest thing is, everyone's mad at Jada right now because they said, look, Will was hurt, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because he had to relive the shit all over again. Yeah. Come on. That's common sense. Yeah, he's hurt again, but he did deal with that. But no, he had to relive it. And every time he turned around, it's on the internet about his wife and some shit he had years ago that they done healed through, mended through. Now they got the red table. They're doing better. They heal each other on the regular. And y'all sloppy ass want to bring up some old time seconds. Come on, man. Ain't nobody trying to bring your ex-boyfriends up at the dinner table. And when they do, y'all flip.
Yeah.
What y'all want to do to these married people? Y'all sloppy. I can't get.
Yeah. Me personally, I go by that phrase. It ain't it's not what you're called, it's what you answer to. For years, there's always been rumors about them for years, and they ignore it. They don't say nothing to it. And I felt like they've been just better off not saying anything to this. Just let them talk. Let people. If
she did not have the red table, she could rightfully ignore it. Having the red table, part of that is how are you going to talk and heal other people if you can't bring yourself to the table? That's fair. And talk and admit to the world that this open. That is the only reason that came out. Because think about the whole entire relationship.
She would look
that happened with them
like
two.
A hypocrite.
Nobody knew about it until now.
Okay, you're saying she would look like a hypocrite.
Try to redeem herself. That's the only way. Yeah. That's just like saying, eat my pies, and you go and been eating somebody else's pies for years, and now you back making your own pies, but you got to show people that you like your pies, right?
Yeah, August was eating her pie. That's the problem.
Not staying.
And he brought that eating the pie back for 4 years.
How many pies was Will eating?
Oh, Will was.
He had one. He had one. The only difference is men, when it comes down to this energy thing, you guys get so upset. A girl can have lunch with someone and y'all be upset like she had sex with someone. Y'all did not handle stuff the way we handle. I'm not condoning what happened, but at the same time, again, they were on the verge of divorce. Will admitted that. They were not together when this happened. Even though they said, well, they were still married. I don't want to hear that shit from people who ain't never been married and separated. If you have never been married and separated, don't say shit to me. If you have been married and you've been separated and you lasted longer than a year without sex, then you can talk to me. Other than that, y'all ain't got nothing to say because you ain't been through it through experience. And most married people, especially here in the state of North Carolina, where you got to be legally, physically separated for over a year. For no contact with them for a year to even start to grant your divorce. So with that being said, you mean to tell me people going a year and not having sex with nobody? It might in the first year, but after that, that's bullshit. So until someone can actually rightfully say that they weren't feeling nobody else, blah, 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 and both parties, not just one, but both parties wasn't doing their own entanglement, nothing else need to be said.
Okay.
Mind your business.
Let me ask you this. Let's say those rumors were true that they had an open relationship. I talked about this on another episode about celebrities in particular, like especially them. They're two actors. Let's say they'll have a movie. She has to shoot Matrix 6. He has to go shoot Bad Boys 8. I don't know what number we're on now. They have to go in different locations. Usually they're gone for like 3 months at a time, 4 months, depending on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then she may come up with another project. Maybe she has to do Red Table Talk. So she doesn't have a lot of time to spend with her husband, and vice versa. He don't have a lot of time to spend time with her. You already know that Willow, their daughter, is, participates in polyamorous relationships. She's been on the Red Table Talk and admitted it and talked about it. And this is like, to me, further the rumor that they probably live the same lifestyle. And I asked the question, is it probably more prudent for people like them, not like, regular people, civilians, whatever, to have a relationship like that in that type of environment, in that type of industry, than just a traditional marriage?
I've heard of a lot of celebrities that do cope with their marriages that way, knowing not to get entangled or into a full relationship with other people, hence taking care of their needs. However, like I said, the only difference is them wham bam thank you ma'am and people, and her actually forming a bond with this guy. But again, the only reason that bond was formed is because her and Will were on the full verge of divorce. They both had agreed that they were ready to divorce without fully committing to that divorce. So that's what the difference is. It's not they out sexing other people, because they probably were both. There's no telling. Like we don't know. I'm sure several celebrities do it, and until they get caught or until it's outed, there's not a problem. I mean, hell, let's not forget Jay-Z wrote the whole 444 on behalf of the apologies towards his wife for what he's done.
Yeah. I don't think
so.
He was
Let's not.
He was messing around.
Hey, no, I know it was a mess around in general, but let's not play tit for tat. That was a whole entire marriage that never said they were going to divorce.
Yeah.
I don't hear nobody upset with Jay-Z. Matter of fact, you could tell Beyonce was stressed out. She made a whole entire Lemonade album because of it.
Yeah.
But you don't hear nobody bashing Jay-Z.
Yeah.
No, man, just want a reason. You go after women and say that this is why they hurt for women. No, y'all stop being little cry bitches. Just accept the fact that it went both ways. The fact that is that she stuck with one and he was doing multiples. He got in his feelings. It got resurfaced because we brought it back up, and it showed. I don't know if he was drinking prior to the show or whatever that made him cry again. They probably should have postponed it, in my personal opinion. They probably should have postponed it so his face looked a little better. But it is what it is. It came out. They thought it was going to clear it up. But yeah, he looked the whole crowd. He did. And I love me some Will. He's one of my favorite actors. Yeah. He's a great dude when it comes down to the screen. Their personal life is none of my business.
Yeah.
But everybody putting their business out there with it, I want to put my say-so in and say, I can't fault them for something they did in agreement to separate each other. And what went on during that separation is their personal business. They healed from that. We brought the shit back. And then on top of that, we brought it back and paid the motherfucker who did it to their family that y'all so upset with.
Yeah.
Man, y'all chops. I mean, not you, because you like me. You listen to it. I ain't support it at all. I didn't want to play it in the air.
Yeah, I didn't listen to it. I listened to a snippet.
I didn't want to listen. I don't care what his words are in the song. It don't matter. It could be made up just to go along with the song. Parts of it could be real. Parts of it could be made up. The whole thing may not necessarily be about her, but he did smartly enough wait to get the right word from her. And then when he did, who's to say that they ain't all in this together? Because they are a little weird, a little bit.
See, that's a good point. I would not be surprised.
Right, like who? Because how you drop an album and not having a title for a song right before? Come on, man. Look, that album was ready to drop, but you didn't have the title of that song. Yeah. Who's to say they're not all in it together? I don't know.
Yep. Who's to say they didn't have a conversation back in April? Like, hey, okay, nobody's popping right now, August, including you. So you remember that thing we had 4 years ago? Will is cool with that. He actually did give you permission to that. We're going to make your career pop. We're going to talk about the entanglement, the word I just came out with. We're going to come out with a song called that. I'm gonna do a Red Talk interview. It's gonna be your name is gonna pop up in Google all of a sudden. People gonna look at pictures of you. You cause a little more controversy, and you come out with that song.
When all this is going on, they on the red carpet and all this other stuff in between. Ain't nobody snitch. Come on, y'all so foolish. Y'all so foolish.
Yeah.
I can't.
But yeah,
I'm sorry.
they say he had mental issues too. Yeah, let me bring that up. That's like another argument that people were bringing up was that Jada, in her feelings, wanting to feel good, took advantage of someone who was mentally weak at that time, which he did bring up and talked about in interviews 4 years ago. Even she brought up, and I think she talked about it at the Red Table Talk, about his issues with depression and suicidal thoughts and stuff like that. And she helped him get through that. And I think it was old girl that played Diamond on Players Club. Was talking about she preyed on the mentally weak guy. She got what she wanted to get out, wanted to feel good, had a tryst with him, and then went back to Will. Now, what is your thoughts on that? Do you think that could be some truth to that?
No, again, that's other people meddling up in business. Because when it comes down to mental health, and we all, at some way, form, or fashion, have dealt with it or been around someone to deal with it. And I can say this from personal experience as well. When it comes to depression, all the other stuff, actually, depression itself, if you look at bipolar and manic depression and all kinds of mental disorders itself, it actually makes you lash out and do things of that nature just to feel a certain way. So, yeah, August may have had his issues, but who the hell did say that Jada wasn't going through depression because of what she was dealing with? We will fucking everybody and they upset and they ready for divorce. We don't know these people's mental issues. Do I think that she decided to prey on that? Nah. I think she just, the fact is he was there, she was there, things happened, it worked good, it felt good, and she went with it. I don't think it was more of a, he ain't gonna be in control. No, and if she enjoys some young dick, it is what it is. Hell, everybody prays when Stella got her group back. Like, it is what it is. Again, they weren't together. They were planning on divorcing. And it wasn't like they just decided, it's been 3 weeks. It's been years. It was separate for a year or so, a couple of years. So why are people acting like, oh my gosh, she's the devil? No.
Yeah, I agree.
Nah. It just worked out well. They got back together. The real problem is August little cheap ass decided he wanted to throw his little album out there and everybody fell for it.
I agree.
But hey.
He's working the system. He's doing what a lot of people in Hollywood do. He's trying to make a confessions album. That's what he's trying to do.
He's doing the same thing a lot of people in Hollywood do. A lot of people don't. He's doing what hurt people do. They bring up hurt people hurt other people when they're ready for that attention, when they need something to be heard or known. It's like you trying to get back with an ex or something like that. Well, it don't matter. I screwed your sister. What?
Right.
So.
You're true. All right. Well, let's decompress right quick because this was
You weren't ready for that type of heat where you thought I was going to just go with it?
No. Just hold on. Let me get my thing ready.
Forgot who you was talking to? You forgot who you was talking to. Ha!
I know who you're talking to. I know who I'm talking to. Welcome to another edition of Is What I See, What You Hear. Okay. We're going to decompress. We're going to go into this game that we played before is What I See, What You Hear. And here, what we're going to do is we're going to show random pictures on the screen. Hopefully I can get the phone close enough for you to see the pictures. And within about 30-ish seconds, you're going to describe to me either how that picture makes you feel. You're going to not describe the picture, but you're going to describe how the picture makes you feel, pretty much. Kind of like an ink block test, a lot of psychiatrists do. So I'm going to...
Right, so wait, you're going to show me your picture, and I'm going to describe what I think and how.
Yeah, we're going to go back and forth. I'm going to go mine first. We're going to do 4 each. I'm going to do my 4 and then your 4, back and forth. And I'm going to play the clock for you. And it's going to be about 30 seconds. You'll hear when the buzzer goes off, hopefully. And then we're going to go from there. Okay. You let me know when you're ready. Get close to the screen so you can see it. And I'm going to show you the first picture. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, me.
All right. You see it?
Yeah, that's it. It kind of reminds me of our current president.
What?
Yeah. It reminds me of our current president. It's something nobody wants to look at. Just brings up bad memories and stuff. It reminds me of the 90s and what used to be considered a terror to us. It kind of looks like everyday people now. It's going off your screen, by the way.
Yeah, I got you.
It's gone. You don't have to keep showing that. Yeah, so.
All right, so that picture was of Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street, a classic from the 80s, sucked in the 90s. Okay, you got one for me?
Yeah, let me see. Hold tight 1 second.
Any random person, place, or thing, whatever you want.
I got you. I'm waiting for it to pull up.
With your
I'm on this different phone.
Yeah, show it up with your third phone.
All right. Let me see if I can see what you're seeing. Okay.
Yeah, hold it a little closer. I think I can see it. Okay, let's see. I'm thinking vacation. I'm thinking good times. I'm thinking nice tan. I'm thinking somewhere I'm trying to get away from home, but South Carolina is shutting down everything because of COVID. I'm thinking I need to get away from here for like another year. Or I'm thinking about going to Jamaica and seeing some blue sands and no people, because I want to be in solitude away from all the sick people. I'm thinking I need a Corona, the good kind. Okay. Yeah, I want the good kind of Corona. I don't
exactly
want
what that is.
Okay.
You want the Corona by the bottle, not by the person. I got you. Yeah, and that's exactly what that is. It's just a picture of the beach, just a much needed, everyone needs getaway at this point. That a safe getaway, not a Corona possible getaway, not a wear a mask getaway.
I about want to get away from this world. I don't mean suicide. I mean just get away from this earth. Right. Get away to another planet. All right.
I know what you mean.
Let me show you something. Let me see if you remember this. You better remember this. If you don't remember this.
Me remember something? You asked Dory from Finding Nemo if I remember something?
Nah, I don't care if you Dory or if you're a 90-year-old person to see now. You got to remember this. All right?
Okay.
And...
oh, man, if that don't bring back the most happy, disappointing feelings on earth. I see the best tasting cookies on earth, but I'll also see some misery and hurt as soon as I open it. It's nothing but sewing materials on the inside of it. I'm seeing the best heartbreak ever built to mankind. I have a container of that in my house, and I only have it because I know for sure it has cookies in it. But back in my day, it didn't have no cookies in it. You open it up, it had every sewing piece of equipment possible in there. It was a danger. Matter of fact, that is wrong. That's child abuse. That's what that is. That is child abuse. A child thinking they get cookies and they get stabbed by needles and pins and rude. I just had a whole flashback. I'm not okay with it at all.
One of the best videos of all time.
All right, that's one of those metal tin cans that held those butter cookies in there. I don't know if I even had the cookies. I think they always had sewing material, keys, coupons, everything you want to put in there, nail clippings, whatever. I think August Alsina soul was in there.
Them cookies they were bought once a year. That was it.
Right.
And that was at probably Christmas time. Once a year, Christmas time, and that was it. Like once that container was gone.
Where'd you
any roses, Dollar Tree, any cheap store like that had the best cookies. It would be like maybe $3 a canister, which is probably why they didn't have that much back then,
Yeah.
because that was kind of expensive again. But
Mm.
man, that was man, that kind of made my mouth water a little tidbit. I got a container inside though. I know what I'm gonna do as soon as I'm done with this.
See, I
I know.
remember the school charity, not school charity, whatever, the things, the school funds, where they would raise money, and that would be one of the things in the magazines they would send you that you could buy. And that's the only way I saw people usually buy them. Every now and then I would see it in the store, but we would get these magazines or whatever, pamphlets with different items like overcharged brownies and wrapping paper, and that was one of the items I remember seeing in there.
Yeah, no, I know. I just remember seeing those at like somebody's big mama house, and always having some stuff you can't have. Like, they always had stuff that looked good, and either it was always something wrong. Like, you always had a stereo with a television on top, but the stereo didn't work, and then it was like a TV on top of the TV. The TV didn't work. It was always like broken promises. Like,
Okay, what you got?
Anyway, this is kind of hard at last minute, but I'll do this. All right, you can see it.
Okay. We'll start. For some reason, this came back in style for me in middle school in the 90s. I guess this is from the hippie age. I would never, even in my uncomfortable teenage stage, ever wear one of these. I hope this never comes back in style like bell bottoms. This does bring me happiness because I remember picking on people who actually wore these things. I'm like, did you just get a white t-shirt and just drop paint on it and create it and thought this was going to pass as a fancy shirt at school? This looks like the Rainbow Pride Parade. All right.
Oh, guess what?
What's up?
This is extremely back in style now. This is extremely in style. The new style, the current style right now is tie-dye. Not only tie-dye, but tie-dye wrestling suits and biker shorts that are being brought back by women with a butt.
Cool with biker shorts, but the tie-dye? Who's wearing that?
Tie-dye biker shorts are
you
in
wearing
style.
tie-dye?
The whole outfit, from top to bottom, are in style. So you might as well get you a nice pair of kegs and rock it.
Some kids. Okay.
Kids, because they're back. Sorry.
So,
I'm just waiting for the Crossbows to come back so I can bring out my old stash.
when is the basketball shorts from the 80s gonna come back in style? Because I've been wanting to rock those.
They just been in the bedroom. They ain't never gonna wear. Are you talking about for the men or the women though?
I got the thighs to wear those basketball shorts though.
If y'all start wearing the basketball shorts, I got a problem.
Why?
Because that is not the same. That is not the same anymore. Don't y'all do? Don't you bring that bullshit back? Don't you do it?
What about the t-shirt? You know, I think that was the 80s when it was still there with the cutoff in the stomach t-shirt.
The aerobic t-shirts with the Reebok aerobic suits and the little sweatbands that go around the wristband.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Bring that back in style. And I mean for everybody. I don't mean everybody with just a six-pack. I mean...
What's your birthday again? We just passed. Your birthday just passed. All right, so you know what? Christmas is coming around the corner. You know, why wait for Christmas when there's Labor Day? So...
Why wait for that when there's Monday? There's a Monday coming up, too. I'll take a Monday.
Nah, I'm not doing it for Monday. Not this week.
They're going to make a statue with me in basketball shorts, and I'm going to be on every monument that's been taken down over the country.
How about you going to be taken down with the rest of them?
No, because this is going to be something everyone's going to be proud of. All lives are going to love this.
Okay. Hey, whatever makes you feel good. Jeez. That went a whole nother direction.
Just like Jada. All right, let's see. Let me. I don't know how you're gonna feel about. I don't know how you're gonna feel about this one coming up. You ready for this one?
Lord.
All right, you ready? Here we go. All right.
Rude. Something I try to get out of, something that people are rushing into, and just be able to say they into. It's married now. I cannot. This is something that takes literally $50 and 30 minutes to get into. It takes 3.5 to 4 years to get out of, and possibly half your money. I cringe when I see it. I know that some people's goals is no longer mine because I've been there and done that. And yeah, to those who are still sticking through with it, those who are not and rushing into it because that's what everybody else is doing, good luck on that. Tell me how that ends. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. That irked my soul. That just, why would you do that?
Well, I was trying to make you
Rude.
feel.
What?
They ain't make you feel good. They ain't make you all butterfly inside. You know, you
Butterflies, all right. Mothflies, little moths flying
moths
inside. That's what that is.
eating at you like moths on clothing.
It's just rude.
I'm sorry.
Like, it's just like everything you got to go through just to. I mean, literally, you can jump in it like it's nothing. They'll let you go in blindsided.
Right.
One little piece, not even a contracted piece of paper. You just jumped in and said some things out loud like you would on live. Like, you know what? We're gonna do this because I'm feeling real good right now. And then they go from that to you trap, bitch. So I just
Yeah, why does it cost so little to get in, cost so much to get out?
Think about that. It costs $50, 30 minutes, and a feeling to decide that you want to get married, and only has to have one person agree with you to say, yeah, I'm watching them do it. And it costs $3,242.72. 300 years, your children, and all your right shoes to get out there.
Yeah.
That you should know right there that it's a trap. Like it is literally just a piece of paper. And I say a piece of paper because, like, if you go back to the biblical days where people were getting married, the divorce decree has nothing about physical paperwork in it. So the piece of paper is pretty much the lack of better words, the government's way of controlling your assets and you know, making it, well, if you die, who's going to pay your bills? Who's going to be responsible for this then? You know, so it literally is just a physical piece of paper that appoints people to responsibility. Has really nothing to do with your marriage. It's a responsibility acceptance.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, one of the reasons why,
because common law marriage, you be together forever and you got them street files and y'all good and y'all still have the same mental as a married couple. It's just you don't have the paperwork. So if you decide to go somewhere else, you're still considered single in the United States. But yet in real life, y'all really still have that street bond, that marital bond. It is what it is, and it's respected. But
you know, like one of the reasons why they even made people start to have a marriage license was to keep up with interracial couples in the United States anyway.
Imagine that.
And then charge them or have them arrested for illegally marrying a person of another race. At least one.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Why would you need a license? Like, you get a license to drive, that tells you that you are fit to operate a motor vehicle. Why would you need a license to marry another human being? And you don't go to a class
because you need that piece of paper and accepting responsibility. You're accepting responsibility. That's what you're doing. Just like when you're driving, you're accepting responsibility of being responsible of what you do in that motor vehicle. So when you're married, you're accepting responsibility of that person's life in that person's absence and during any downfall.
But that's after you take a class for driver's ed and you're shown to be fit to drive. Yeah. You don't have to take no class for marriage.
Yeah.
You get married.
The marriage classes are optional. That's optional. Yeah. And I don't think it should be like that. I think it should be required. I think it should be. I think if you're required to go through all this to get out of it, you should be required twice as much to get into it. And if you're able to stick through it to get into it, then sure, go for it. But after that, nah, it's a trap. Don't do it. Reconsider. Read some literature.
All right, Andre 3000. More likely, you are going to keep your wife, or you're trying to keep your wife or husband longer than a motor vehicle. You're going to switch that out several times in a lifetime.
That's higher for it. Like, but hey, you know, before you know it, your business is out in the street and you're in an entanglement. Who knows?
We're going to keep going back to that. All right.
America pisses me off at times. Sometimes, and this is one of those times and they're so just determined to, like, America loves to throw blame. And people, we got to find the reason why, and they don't want to accept blame for themselves because it was us that brought that hurt back to Will.
You're right. What's your next? You got another picture? You got one more?
Yeah. And then I was playing with my phone, so it disappeared. And I think there's a mosquito out here trying to get me now. Like I was safe a minute ago, and it's like a mosquito trying to get me for my good.
Bloodsucker, just like August Alsina.
Yep. So I'll probably be swollen tomorrow. You know I'm allergic to outside, so why I'm outside is because I want to be outside.
All right.
This is.
Oh God.
Uh-huh.
You need to go to rehab for this.
Wow, really?
It's supposed to
saves lives every day, literally.
Yeah, and also gets motor vehicles crashing into the other motor vehicles every day.
Not this. Nope, it's the other stronger stuff.
No,
how dare you? Jesus
you have too
made
much
this.
of it. It can do that. This can get people to calm down, or it can get people to be freak in the sheets, like August Alsina and Jada Pinkett probably had the night they entangled with each other. I don't know much about red wine, but
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Anyway, yeah, but actually, red wine is actually really good for you. It keeps
I know.
the heart flowing. I actually was prescribed. I was prescribed red wine during my pregnancy before I was even any type of drink, because it has so many health perks. And you know, for me, it actually puts me to sleep. So now I drink just to go to sleep, and not just to go to sleep, but not to relax or whatever. If I do have a glass of wine per night. And they say lies, like where they should just let us have this at work. They're like legalizing marijuana.
It is.
So
you know,
legalize wine at work. I mean,
you drink the right amount.
Even God
I mean, if you have too much,
if you overdo it, then that's different.
Yeah, well, too much of anything is bad. Even too much water can make you drown.
Right, literally, you can drown internally, but
right,
that, but whatever.
Okay, so Nick Cannon. He's gone through a myriad of emotions the last few days. Of course, he, on his Nick Cannon podcast, which is a pretty good podcast, he had Professor Griff from Public Enemy, former group member of Public Enemy. And he said what were viewed by some people as anti-Semitic and racist, depending on who you ask. And the other side, people think he told the truth. Depending on who you ask. People are divided on that. But the people that own the network he's on, which is VH1, thought it was hurtful, and they decided to fire him. And Nick Cannon, he let out a little apology first. He's like, I wasn't trying to hurt anybody. You know, I love everybody of every race, of every culture. I love everybody. And then he kind of got a little bold and said, hey, well, you will give me the rights to my show Wild 'N Out, because that's his baby. You will give me the rights to my show. You missed out, VH1, you missed out on a great moment to learn from me. I'm paraphrasing some of the stuff. But basically like, hey, I'm going to be all right. I'm a boss. You can't stop a nation. And he had mostly every African-American behind him. And it seems like no, not even 24 hours. 24 hours, then he was like, I apologize. I didn't mean what I said to come out, how it came out. I have spoken to some rabbis, and I've gotten a little bit of counsel. I'm like, within 24 hours, all this, you have gotten off of the stand that you were on in the first place. You've changed your mind about everything. And I think this rubbed a lot of black people the wrong way, because of like, we were behind you. Puff Daddy was like, hey, I own Revolt Network. You can bring Wild 'N Out or whatever. You can be on my network. It's all black owned. We're behind you. So stick to your guns. We're good. But then he came out with this apology, and now people are kind of, pissed at him. And then he released a post, a cryptic post, like I'm tired of this earth. I'm tired of this world. I'm out, making it like, I might commit suicide or I'm going to harm myself, which you know, I hate when people do that on social media like that. I'm like, don't put your business out there in the world for people to hear like that. You know, talk to somebody you care for, the therapist, whatever. But he did this, and it was because he was saying pretty much black people turning their backs on him. And before I do it, let me just play what he said, so we kind of get inkling of what people are mad at him or loved what he said.
Let's go to what it really is then. When we talk about the power of melanated people, when we talk about who we really are as guys, and understanding that our melanin is so powerful and it connects us in a way that the reason why they fear black, the reason why they fear is because the lack that they have of it. So then when you see what, you know, Dr. Francis C. Welsing talked about is that fear in that
genetic annihilation
efficiency of when you have a person that has the lack of pigment, the lack of melanin, that they know that they will be annihilated. So therefore, however they got the power, they have the lack of compassion. That melanin comes with compassion. Melanin comes with soul, that we call it soul. We soul brothers and sisters. That's the melanin that connects us. So the people that don't have it are a little, and I'm gonna say this carefully, are a little less, and where the term actually comes from, because I'm bringing it all the way back around to Minister Farrakhan, to where they may not have the compassion or the when they were sent to the mountains of Caucasus, when they didn't have the power of the sun, that the sun then started to deteriorate them. So then they're acting out of fear, they're acting out of low self-esteem, they're acting out of a deficiency. So therefore, the only way that they can act is evil. The only way they have to rob, steal, rape, kill, and
fight or flight
in order to survive.
Exactly.
So then these people who didn't have what we had, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated people. They had to be savages. They had to be barbaric. Because they're in these Nordic mountains. They're in these rough, torrential environments. So they're acting as animals. So they're the ones that are actually closer to animals. They're the ones that are actually the true savages. And then they built up such this I don't want to say warrior, but they built up such this conquering barbaric mentality.
Cannon outlined his career with Viacom CBS.
Okay, that's the gist of it. And I want to hear your opinion on what he said. Do you think he should apologize for anything, half of it, a quarter of it, or do you think he was 100% right in what he said? Or did he word it wrong? Should he have clarified better? What do you think?
I really think at this point America is so beyond sensitive, and they pick and choose their battles that you can't have an opinion anymore. It sounds like he's finally learning him, and not really finally, because he's been through his thing for years where he's trying to embrace his blackness, to be accepted and learn our culture and share our culture. On that same note, though, for a while, Nick has been struggling with some mental things, and being accepted is kind of one of them. I know you had touched bases about him possibly putting up the suicide thing. I actually posted it on my page. It was suicidal. Early this morning, he actually lost a friend to suicide.
Oh yeah, I saw
Very
that.
close friend. Right. So, and he admitted that he was the one that was going to be the one to take his own life before his friend did. And he still looked at his friend as a hero. But that alone is several cries for help when it comes to the mental. People think because you have money that you can't have mental problems. It actually gets worse with money. You know, there's more money, more problems.
Yeah.
That's not just people asking you. Your mental goes so many ways because you're trying to please so many people. Yes, Wild 'N Out turned out to be such a wonderful show. But outside of Wild 'N Out, I don't hear a lot of people praising Nick Cannon, except for the other people. I pick all the time about his music. Like, you're not going to hear a lot of people say, oh, yo, put that Cannon on. However, You know, Nick, you know, like if he died, Lord, y'all, please don't play his songs for 2 days straight. However, it's true. Like, please do not play his songs for 2 days straight. Like that, I can't handle that.
You mean
and that's the backlash he did from his own community. But the people that supporting him the most, not saying all, but the most, outside of Wild 'N Out. If you extract Wild 'N Out and all the other stuff he did when he was American Got Talent and all the movies and stuff he made, if you think about that man is brilliant minded. He's done some wonderful things, but it wasn't us that accepted him. And then think about his wife or ex-wife. You know, she's not exactly black. So that means his kids are not exactly fully black.
Okay.
So
go ahead and speak on that.
You got to put all that into
Go ahead and speak on that.
Well, you got to put all that into perspective before you assume that he says anything out of hurt, number one, out of malice, out of pro-black. Yes, he's pro-black, but he's a very smart man. He was just more or less educating versus I don't like the other color. No, he was educating based on what he's learning. He's still learning himself. I don't care what nobody say. This man is still learning himself.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of us here. I know they said what Diddy was like, come on home. You know, somebody could have easily taken that as a race card, you know, but they pick and choose their struggles. Of course they're going to pick with Nick because they've been funding Nick for so long when no one else would.
Yeah.
Outside of a few movies like Drumline or whatever, no one's really pulling Nick up on the black card. Let's just be 100% honest. If it wasn't for Wild 'N Out and the cast for Wild 'N Out, not even Nick, it's just the cast that he was able to create, him being him and have the money he had, nobody would be in a situation caring about Nick Cannon. So he's in a tug of war between finances, mental, and his ethnicity. He's in a hard place.
Yeah.
Hell, we seem to be in a hard place in our own neighborhoods.
Right.
You know,
I hate hearing
again,
I hate hearing people say, well, the people that say, well, I would have stood fast. I'm going to say I would, but who knows if I was in a situation, but I would have stood fast with, you know, the things I said and, you know, if they fire me, so what? Here's a few things he has to worry about. Of course, him being fired, he has to worry about his money first. Then the thing I thought about was, it's not just Nick Cannon, it's the people he employs. He employs a lot of people, hundreds of people, and maybe also he's worried about people who are of white, European, whatever, maybe people he works with, he's going to offend them as well. He's got to worry about the Masked Singer. He does that too. So he has to worry about his jobs and people who he employs. And he might have didn't think about that at the time when he was making that statement, which I'm not sure
being
why.
Accepted,
Being
accepted is a hell of a drug. And people can argue that all they want to talk about. They don't care about other people being accepted, but they sure do a lot of things for likes online. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I to me, my personal opinion, I thought maybe when he apologized, he thought, well, dang, it ain't just about me, because he's got money. He's worth, I think, about 30-40 million. So I was like, he's going to be all right. He'll get back on his feet. But then maybe he thought about, well, what about the other people I employ who are not so lucky? Maybe, you know, because when you're fired you may be fired from a job or laid off from a job, you get a little bit of a notice. This happened within, you know, a couple hours. I heard about it at night, and then the next thing I know, they say, well, we're not bringing the show back. So a lot of people lost their job, and maybe he felt bad about that, which I commend him for that, to feel bad and feel for other people, because he could have been selfish. Like, I ain't worried about y'all. Shoot, I'm going to get on my feet. You'll be all right.
Right. On that same note, again, like his best friend, though, that just took his life, or his close friend that took his life, that was a white guy. I mean, he hasn't put in perspective a lot of different things. Again, his children are not fully black. So you think about 20 years from now, does he want his children to feel like they're gentrified because their mom is part white? See, you see what I'm saying? It has there's a lot in between it. People want to take stuff and run, but the reality is a lot in between. And he is the one that needs the mental health, because he's trying to fit in so well and he's trying to fit in on both ends, and it just doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is, unfortunately, a lot of our Black community does not accept Nick for who he is. They accept for what he has brought, but for who he actually is, they don't accept him for who he is. And am I wrong when I say that? Please tell me. Do you think we accept Nick Cannon for who he actually is, or are we just accept the fact that he brought the funny show Wild 'N Out? Because extract Wild 'N Out from this entire picture and tell me where he actually stands in this picture.
Well, to me, I never thought of just Nick Cannon just being the Wild 'N Out guy. I thought he was just a great businessman, more so a producer of several shows since he was put on Nickelodeon.
Absolutely.
You know, and
what are people worried about the most right now?
So, say that
he
again.
Started from Nickelodeon. He's completely talented, but what are most people in this current 2020? If you extract Nick Cannon from Wild 'N Out, what else? What other precedents does everyone have? What other base do they have to say we support Nick Cannon?
Well, I think that's the lay person. I think, I guess I think outside of the box with that for that, but yet, I agree with your point. Most people are probably not thinking about the other shows he has produced over 20 years and stuff. He is a phenomenal when it comes to that.
Right. So he is definitely.
He's very.
He's a very powerful person. Let's not forget he was on Real Real Husbands of Hollywood too.
Kevin Hart, yeah.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
He's fun. He's hilarious. He is very smart.
Remember, he was the host on America's Got Talent, and he left there on his own free will because he didn't like how they were being. Well, they didn't like some comments I think he said on his podcast in the past too, and I think he was like, "Well, I'm not going to be controlled, so I'll go do something else," which is why I thought he'd be okay with this. But then, though, he wasn't employing people; they employed him. Not like Wild 'N Out, where he was employing people. So that's ultimately why I think maybe he's upset at this. And then to hear the backlash was like, well, you turned our back on us when we were supporting you.
Right.
Yeah.
He can't win for losing.
Well, I wish he did stand by what he said. Whether people think it's right or wrong, I do respect people who stand by what. I mean, at least with 24 hours, dude. Like, keep your stance for at least a month. Maybe people have the right to change their mind. They can be taught something different. I just wonder.
Yeah, I think that was really fast.
Do you think the powers that he got to him, or that's the other thing? Is like, well,
I think personal people got to.
Yeah.
I think that when I say personal, I mean the people that do control his finances. I absolutely agree. I think they got to.
Yeah.
And it wasn't all about the Wild 'N Out because like Diddy said, he was welcome to go different places and different platforms to pull it out. But yeah, I truly think it was. Yeah, I think some financial pull or personal pull to his finances had a lot to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
if you were in that situation, would you apologize?
If I was in that situation,
yeah, you own a show like Wild 'N Out, but you had the tenacity, the intelligence, the pull like Nick Cannon has. Would you apologize or just move on?
That quickly, like I said, I think there's a lot more to it than we know. And my question in that clip that they played, when was that recording of Nick Cannon? When did he do that? Was that days prior to, or was it the next part? Was that something else they pulled? Because you remember Nick Cannon actually brought that fire song after George Floyd was murdered.
Yeah,
that song was actually. But how I need a full timeline to say if I would do it that quick. I mean, the way the media played it, I don't know if I could do it that quickly. I mean, I was really disappointed the next day. I'm not even gonna lie. The first thing that popped in my head when I saw he apologized immediately was sellout. And it bothered me to think that because I don't know the background history. But that literally the first thing that popped in my head was this dude just sold out.
Yeah. That's a lot, I think, what he heard and what was his complaint. Like, a lot of people are calling me a sellout all of a sudden, and
Right.
it's sad, but yeah.
Right. It's time to choose. And now, and then the suicide thing, I really believe him. Like, depression is real. Like, people are saying that that's a card that he played, but reality is, who hasn't thought at one point about suicide over some dumb shit in high school, or somebody he was dating, something at some point. And I lost a very best friend, my very best friend, to suicide. And she was on the phone with me when she did.
Oh, wow.
So when I hear people make that cry, that is that moment of desperation. You can't say it was a chosen struggle for attention. Yes, the fuck, they need attention right now because they're in their feelings.
Yeah.
Where we've all been at some point in our lives. And if you haven't, bless you, because you're one of the few who haven't. But suicide is real. Depression is real. And in those weak moments can make the decision of whether or not you live or die. Yeah. And like I said, I literally lost my very best friend to suicide while on the phone.
Yeah.
So, and the funny part is, the conversations we had prior to her doing this, and I thought I had prevented it earlier that day, come to find out later on, it kind of showed her a way out, and she did it anyway. And I know people say, don't take it to heart, don't put on yourself there. If their mind's made up, their mind's made up. Not really. No, the fuck it's not. Because if her mind was made up, she would have never reached out to me when she was doing it. She would have just done it like she almost did the first time, when I called her and I startled her, and she said she missed.
Wow.
When I hear people say such things, it really truly bothers me. Like, I don't those are people who really have not been through much. And those are people who truly live their life based off of other people's drama and entertainment. But for me, from my experience and what I've seen and heard and lived through, and it's real. I mean, I've dealt with it recently, the threat alone recently with my 13-year-old child. I don't take stuff like that lightly. I had an ex try to use that on me right after my friend committed suicide as a plea for quote unquote attention. And I had to correct that because I think that was just the rudest thing.
But he used it to like stay together or to keep him around. Yeah. Okay.
He used it to try to keep me around. He used it to try to keep me around. And that just was the worst, because I was willing to leave my job for it. I was willing to do whatever it took to get to him, to keep him from doing that, not to be with him, just to keep him from doing it, to get him some help.
Yeah.
So, I'm like I said, again, I don't take stuff like that lightly. I have mixed emotions about it, because maybe before this happened with her, I probably would have been like everybody else, I just want attention. But knowing that sometimes those cries for attention is all we want, is all we need. It's just that little bit of moment to say, I can hear you, I'm listening, I understand. You got to realize Nick is already dealing with lupus.
Yeah.
Some type of he's already on much, pretty knocking at death's door. And now the world's against him. He don't have the neighborhood against him, the high school against him. He don't have Facebook against him. He's got the entire world against him on both sides. Right. That can't be a good feeling. And I'm sorry, none of this background noise was planned. None of this background darkness was planned. It was just ended up being a long podcast.
Well, it makes sense. And the thing I was thinking about when you're talking about it, and you were talking about your friend, when someone's depressed and they just feel like they don't have an out, or they feel like they're hurting the people that love them, or they feel pressure from other people who alleged to say they love them. When you talk about someone like Nick Cannon, who's a celebrity, and you got millions of people who have a negative comment to say about you, and that pressure sits on top of you worse than just, regular people who just have family members or friends or coworkers that feel negatively about you. Yeah, that's gotta suck. That's gotta suck.
We had the entire world against him, not just one or two people, not just Facebook, not just Instagram, not just the neighborhood, the entire world. That's a hell of a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So for people to say it's just an attention seeker, then if that's what it is what it is. But if Black Lives Matter, we need to step in and we need to be there for him. If all lives matter, we need to step in, we need to be there. It is what it is. Like, that was a cry for help. Obviously, he's going through some things where he can't please everyone, and that bothered him.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going to help? Are we just going to talk bad about him and say that he just crying out for attention? Then it is what it is. If that's how you feel, that's fine. I hope you never go through anything.
Yeah.
But for those of us who know that that little bit of cry means something, and that might be the one time that person actually completes what they say, that's rough. It's a whole nother ballgame at that point.
Yeah, it's sad, but I mean, I wish him well. I mean, I think he's gonna get back on his feet. Hopefully, he has a support system. Hopefully, Mariah or whoever, what family members and friends he has around him, and that, you know, you said his friend had just committed suicide. That's hopefully a wake up call to see that he has more people that love him than hate him. And don't worry about what people say on social media, because we're not attached to you. We're fans. We're not family and friends. We're not the ultimate people who should matter to him. Somebody might have to tell him
That's
that.
the scary part. He looked at that guy as a hero after suicide.
Yeah.
That's the scariest part of all of it. He didn't look at it like, man, I wish I could be there to help you. He looked at him like he was a hero for going through with it.
Yeah. And that's sad. Well, yeah, let's get off that topic.
Let's get off that.
We're gonna go back to the game right quick, just for a little bit.
All right.
You ready?
As ready as I'm gonna be.
All right, and here we go.
All right, let's see what we got here. Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't see nothing. The reason why we even choose it is because Bill Cosby was the very best person on earth to ever sell it, okay? There's always room for more. This brings up childhood memories. It made you feel like you was a chef, because that was the one thing you were actually able to make on your own. And as long as the water temperature was right, you could do it. Stick it in the refrigerator later, you good to go. You came out and you felt good about your life.
All right.
You know, there's always room. Always.
Yeah.
Jello.
And there was always a room for Bill Cosby and the white woman he had in the hotel.
That did not happen.
Always a room. No, it didn't happen with black women for some reason. How you gonna be?
A tweet out today. Come on, story.
You know, I think I'm more mad that he was a racist rapist. Like, why can't you didn't get any black women, man? You gotta be equal opportunity if you're gonna do that.
I mean, so
It's the same.
We don't know.
Same thing I say about Michael Jackson. He was a racist molester.
Not that at all. I won't even go there. I'm gonna be good.
No Webster, no Gary Coleman. You weren't interested in these guys? How dare you?
Word ain't saying a word. Because I do plan on my career shooting out the sky. They ain't gonna use this for me 20 years now, talking about Ayeshia said this on hostile therapy. No, I didn't.
Hey, I'm just
thought about it, but I didn't.
I'm just.
You're more than welcome to.
You got a picture?
Nah. Go ahead with another one for you. Go ahead. I really don't.
All right. I got one for you. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, shoot. I dropped the daggone thing.
It's glare. Oh, man, that pinky toe. Man, listen. That was the best part of reading this whole entire situation. Is that the same one? Because it looked like it from here.
Yep.
This show looked like she got her pinky toe shut off. It reminded me all the Harlem Nights in the world just came back in one news read. If that's who I think it is, if I can see that right from here. But that's exactly what it looked like.
Yep.
Is that Megan Thee Stallion? Is that who it is? Oh. Scott shot the pinky toe. Hilarious.
Yeah, that was her.
Hilarious.
She's a savage, but she wasn't a savage that night, I guess. Hanging out with Tory Lanez. He didn't appreciate her savageness that night, and I guess she was trying to get out the car, and he didn't want her to leave, and he shot her in the pinky toe of the foot. I don't know if it was a pinky toe, but I know it was the foot of all places. He didn't shoot her in her assets. You know how hard it is to shoot somebody in the foot? That's a small target. And now I don't understand why he just didn't shoot her in her assets. And that's the biggest target.
He probably didn't mean to actually hit her. That was probably an accidental pinky toe.
Probably bounced.
That was probably like shoot at you and scare you, get your shit together, and it hit her.
Yeah. I will shoot you. And yeah, he was probably trying to scare her. And he probably did not mean to hit her in her foot. She's gonna have to wear flats for the rest of her life now.
Not at all. Anything below the knee is, from what I heard,
Mm-hmm.
the knee is not attempted murder, and it's just a misdemeanor.
I hear
That's
that.
what I've been.
I don't know if it's true everywhere though. I think depends on the state. I don't think that's true everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
In their state, they do.
I'm going to show you something. This is the last picture. You probably haven't seen it. Maybe you have, but even if you haven't seen it, just give me your opinion on this. Cause yeah. All right, here it goes.
I hadn't seen the movie, but I've been hearing all about it. I mean, I guess once you made 12 of the same movies, you don't want to watch more. That face is hilarious. That, like, for them to even go that far to the extreme to make a driver's license with his face on it like that, it's hilarious. But you know, we still got to keep our seasoned actors up to par. You know, like you know, she still need roles and stuff too. You can't get mad at them for taking a cheesy ass role. Somebody watch it. Hell, everybody watch it. Just complain about it. They still made money. I ain't mad at them. I heard it sucked though.
Yeah, I saw that movie. Fatal.
You saw it. You watched it. Wasted your time with it.
I watched it. I watched the entire. You know, it's one of those movies. It's just like it's so bad it's funny. You know, not like John Henry. John Henry with Terry Crews and Ludacris is the worst movie I've seen in the last.
I didn't watch it. It was horrible.
That's the worst movie I've seen in about 3 years. I absolutely.
You gotta realize they need tax write-offs too.
Well, they're gonna have to pay the IRS some money back just for making that movie. That's how bad it was. They need to be in prison for the movie that bad. That movie should be.
I've seen it.
Don't.
I never had anything to see it. Like all I heard was bad stuff, and that's terrible.
Do not watch it. Do not watch it. Now, you can watch Fatal.
What if I want to go to sleep? If I want to go to sleep, can I watch it?
No, don't even watch it in. It's that bad. You'll have nightmares of how horrible it is. Don't watch it. Like, you can watch A Fall from Grace. That's a bad movie, but it's funny bad. And Fatal.
It wasn't terrible. It was just predictable. But the funny part to me, I did a live on about A Fall of Grace, and if you follow the Chronicles, you'll see the live with my brother where we pretty much commentated on that movie. That movie was predictable, but it was
terrible.
Predictable for certain characters.
Those wigs in the movie weren't terrible. The guy that
the wigs were horrible. But keep in mind that movie was made in a week.
That don't make it better.
And you talking about other movies that's been made for years that's horrible. So for
that's worse.
And listen, I ain't even mad at it. Tyler probably knew COVID was coming. I was like, hey, let's get this done real quick.
Look.
Before they shut us down.
Look, let me tell you. There's a part in the movie where they're eating at a place that looks like a Waffle House. Which
I saw it.
Somehow they got wine. Did you see the guy that was eating nothing before?
I seen it.
Yeah.
It means you won't pay attention to the movies. You look at the background.
Yeah, that's not because of predictability. That's horrible. That's just bad writing. That's bad editing. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, we talked about that. My brother and I went live about that. Probably for about an hour and a half. I mean, I got the gist of what Tyler was trying to say, because I understand, especially like I said, being back in the whole dating game again, being
he made me feel
almost told my age, being older in a dating game, you know, because I'm only 19 or 21 because I'm drinking.
That could be.
Yeah, I get it.
It was about Jada Pinkett. I just
I
thought
get
about
it.
that movie was about Jada Pinkett, and that young guy came in there and
Oh, looky here.
Ooh, I just figured
How
it.
the tables turn.
Wow. Okay. I see you, Tyler Perry. You predicting
All that is that how Stella got her groove back, and everybody just forget and they rewrite this stuff over and over again. People want to feel good, and they make any reason in the world to feel that way.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Hell, I want to feel good. I need anybody want entanglement? I need entanglement. I need to feel good. I feel some type of way. I thought I'm like the only one. Am I the only one not in entanglement? Over here feeling bad about myself. I need to feel good. Listen,
I'm sure you can get an entanglement by the end.
You ain't got no more out. No entanglement.
I don't know if you want any entanglement within this year.
I don't know. I just want to feel good. I don't really care about the entanglement.
Well, you're gonna
like, can I feel good? Feel good?
You're gonna need a detanglement by the end of this year if you deal with somebody from 2020.
This is depressing. This is depressing. Like, this is messing with my mental health too. My mental health matters. I'm depressed.
Right.
Detangle me. You know what? matter of fact, I'm about to put that out on Ayeshia Chronicles. Ayeshia is at this point stressed because I need to entangle. Don't nobody will entangle me or detangle me or nothing of that nature. I need to be entangled. I need to feel good. I need to be detangled, entangled. Hell, I need a just for me in my life. All that shit. Okay? Put all that together. I need that. I'm tired, like, of doing this on my own. I don't do y'all. I don't play with toys. Like, this is whole Ayeshia Chronicle moment right here, y'all. This is why he deals with me. Why, I don't know, but I guess this is why, because he's used to my crazy. I don't play with toys. If I can't make it grow, I don't need it in my garden. So why is everybody else entangled instead of me? I said what I said, Nick. I said what I said.
Okay.
Hostile therapy. This is hostile right now. Okay. I got a lot of built up aggression up in here. Okay. This is not okay.
I'm going to put 1-800-AYESHIA on the front when you say this later on. I'm going to have people want to dial the number. It's not going to work probably. We might actually set up a number for that.
I'm about to put out a Yelp. And
a Yelp? A Yelp?
Yeah. About myself. Put myself. Because I'm not sick of people saying, oh, you so perfect. You this, that. Then why the hell am I by myself?
Queen.
And the people that tell me that, the people I have, had some type of something with, and, they screw up. But I don't have patience for that. It is what it is. But I need an entanglement. Somebody want to entangle me? Y'all, we can, listen. How old's entanglement got to be?
Oh, at least 18.
Oh, no. I can't go that low. I got
when I
was married. My stepson, he that age now. Nah. I need a little older. I'm gonna need someone. The lowest I can go is maybe 8-9 years. So if anybody is in their early 30s,
I thought you were asking.
I was just kidding. I ain't telling my age.
27. That's 27 years old.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, what you said. Yeah. Years or so from that.
See,
Listen, entangle me.
I didn't mess up.
Entangle me, prep me, whatever you do. This is trash. Like, this is a lot. This is my boo right here. Matter of fact, y'all want to meet who I'm entangled with? This is who I'm entangled with. This is my boo. We have a relationship kind of often.
Oh, bring the bottle back. No, bring the bottle back into the picture. Bring the bottle back. Yeah,
no, because I know you better stay.
No, we've already seen it. I just want to see it again. Look at it. There's nothing in there. You drank him dry.
Huh?
You drank.
That's why you were talking about, because it's empty now.
Yeah, you drank them dry.
See?
Is that what you're going to do to a real person? You're going to drain them dry? Possibly. Hey, at least you admit it. I ain't wrong. I'm not mad at that. The devil is better than the devil.
I got a lot of build-up aggression going on over here, so.
You silly. Okay.
I promise by the end of the trial they'd be soaking wet. But hey, anybody who first time watching this and you don't know what happened, you really do need to check out my chronicles and just realize I'm just a little special upstairs.
Just a little. I ain't mad at it though.
There's not much.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna get into my last thing and we're going to end. Now I'm going to bring up something I hear a lot of people talk about when we bring up stuff that does seem to matter, like Will Smith, August Alsina, and Nick Cannon, Breonna Taylor. I want to say it because I know people will say, well, this is not worth talking about when we haven't arrested the killer, the policemen who broke into Breonna Taylor's house and shot her in the middle of the night and killed her, broke into the wrong house. On top of that, we still do not have the murderers in prison yet. So this is very important. And right. I want to tell a story of why we need to keep her name in the news. We need to keep talking about her on social media. And I'm going to bring up the story of Mary Turner. Have you ever heard this story about Mary Turner from Georgia? Okay.
No, please elaborate.
Okay. Mary Turner, and I think it was 1918, was a black woman. And let me give the beginning of this. There was a plantation owner named Hampton Smith. And he took someone out of prison under the peonage system, where if someone went to prison for a petty crime, they could bail them out and make them work their debt off, their lease pretty much for a year, 2 years, whatever. They work their debt off on their farm, work them as hard as they want to. Hampton Smith was known as a harsh plantation owner. He didn't care about the conditions he had black people working under. And he had someone, let's see if I got the name right, Sidney Johnson. Sidney Johnson was one of the people he bailed out. He went to prison because he was rolling dice, which was, I guess, illegal at the time. Petty crimes, like I was saying. And his fine was $30, which is not enough now, but it was a lot back then. Sidney Johnson ended up killing Hampton Smith in an altercation, and he fled the farm. So group of white people, I've heard up to about 500, were looking for him. And they couldn't find him at first. And in the midst of finding them, they killed several other innocent black people that had nothing to do with this, including the husband of Mary Turner. She protested and wanted justice for the murder of her husband, who was tortured and lynched. So the white people heard about this in the town, and they chased after her. And she fled. But eventually, they caught up with her. And when they caught up with her, they tied her up. They tied her upside down. Another part I just forgot to mention in the story. At the time, she was 8 months pregnant. 8 months pregnant, and they set her clothes with her in them on fire. And it's not even as worse as it really gets. Now, they set her on fire, and then someone came with a knife and cut her unborn child out. The baby fell on the ground, let out 2 cries, and some person came up and stomped on the baby, killing it. And after that, even after this savage treatment, animalistic, some of the things that Nick Cannon was actually talking about in his speech, they shot the body over 100 times after she was dead, took her down and put her in an unmarked grave with a bottle of whiskey, which now they don't know if her body was moved since then. She really doesn't even have a grave to this day because they don't know if her body was exhumed and moved somewhere else. And justice was never given to her because it wasn't fought for, because people were fearful of reprisal in the Jim Crow days of the South in Georgia. So, with that being said, keep Breonna Taylor's name in the news. Keep her name on social media so she does get the justice she is so needed of having.
Right.
Do you have something to say?
That is so disturbing in so many ways.
Yeah. But most people talk about the Hill story. This happened about 30 years plus before that. It's not mentioned a lot of times in history. Say that again?
What year was it again?
I believe 1915 or 1918. I'm one of those years there.
Wow.
She was only 20 years old, by the way. Not that it really matters.
I don't care what color, creed, age, I don't care none of that.
Yeah.
That is a whole nother level of psychotic. That is a whole nother level of what they consider to be privileged or empowered of who they thought they were. They played God.
Yeah.
On so many levels. And
only because she protested her husband getting killed. Not because she committed a crime or anything.
Yeah, it was because she protested. It was because she's black. It was a lot of stuff in between there. But
yeah, I know what I'm saying.
Woo, this is the reason why I don't believe in ghosts. That is the reason why I don't believe in
that too. Yeah, I was talking about that too. I'm like, of all the people who have been burned, lynched, hung, shot to death for unjust,
there's no way
like
in hell you won't get me to believe in ghosts and tell me that none of my ancestors came back to whoop somebody's ass.
Yeah, right.
There is no way in hell you're gonna get me to believe there's such thing as ghosts, and nobody's come back for any ass whooping in between there.
Right.
Not all of them make it to heaven according to y'all book. So you mean to tell me that nobody's getting revenge on the motherfuckers? I'm sorry, that's bullshit. That's why I can't believe in ghosts. There's no possible way. And I kind of hope there's some type of reincarnation for people of that nature, and I hope they come back as one of them forsaken dogs in the ghetto that gets tied up to a rope in the backyard getting fed leftover corn at night. I just have so many ill thoughts that shouldn't be present for people that no longer exist, and hopefully their mentality has died down a little bit. It's not fully died down. Obviously, there's still KKK out there, but people of that nature, like the torture that I would personally put them through if I could. Ooh, Lord, talk about putting relaxer in their eyeballs and rinsing out with peroxide. Oh my.
It's crazy that these are supposed to be human beings that did this to another human being.
But we shouldn't be upset.
Why not?
That was years ago.
You're being sarcastic. I got you. Okay. Yeah. Yet they're mad about a flag that represents the Confederacy that only lasted about 5 years. An inanimate object that requires wind for it to even move.
Let me tell you. I have yet to go in anyone's house and see a picture of their ex-boyfriend hanging up on the rear because that was a part of their history. Kiss my ass with your history. Your history was fucked up. I've yet to go in someone's house and be married, that someone that they married together, and see a picture of their exes up there. Your history is fucked up. Let it go.
Right. I totally agree. But people want to be mad again. Selective anger. Selective outrage.
Exactly. Selective outrage. That's exactly what it is. They pick and choose. Oh, that's our history, blah, blah, blah. Well, we have history that we don't want to bring up. I have yet to see these houses go over for sale and say, who lived here? Marilyn Manson. You should buy this shit. The fuck no.
Right.
No. So let's not pick and choose what makes you feel good because you felt like you were told this by your great-granddaddy, but your great-great-great-granddaddy owned my people. So let that shit go if all lives matter. Or is it just what you choose to matter? Oh, wait, blue lives matter, but I thought all lives matter.
Yeah.
So are we selecting?
An outfit matters over someone who's particular color and born with that.
Right. You're more concerned with someone being patriotic versus being a human being. But all lives matter.
What can we say? All right.
I can say a lot. They just don't want me to, and I'm not going.
That's it. Make America great again, right?
me and years from now, yeah, I'm good. I'm being nice, Nikki. You know this.
Don't be nice. Let it out.
No. I have to be nice because I have a career, and I do plan on making sure that career don't come bite me back in the ass for being me. Because you know how I was doing this sensitive ass people nowadays, coming back 20 years later. Well, you said this when you were in high school. You know, we're good.
All right. Okay, we're gonna get away from it because I feel like there's about to be steam coming out of your head and some that liquid courage of wine of yours is gonna make you say something.
You already know this is without liquid courage. This ain't even liquid courage. This literally is calming me down.
Oh, okay. All right. You probably right.
Because you and I have spoken several times without any enhancements of any alcohol or wine, and you know my mouth is slick. So right now, I'm going to appreciate the fact that I have a little communion in my hand and respect that the fact today's Sunday. That'll be good.
All right.
Because that story right there pisses me off.
Praise Jesus that we keep the anger and rage that's going to come out of Ayeshia if she don't continue taking her communion, her blood of Jesus.
You see the little crazy. That was 0.7 in my crazy girl meter.
I think your eyes. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that. Appreciate you coming on the show again and
always
not saying anything about the beads of the beads of sweat pouring in my eyes and in my mouth right now. My mouth tastes like saltine crackers right now.
You light skin. I thought that was just your glimmer and glisten that happened. I thought it was a razzle dazzle.
That could be it too.
Like light skin, so he extra. Razzle dazzle. I'm outside. I'm rightfully sweating outside. I have a whole tiki torch going on. I drink the wine. Like,
man, I don't want to see anything fire right now. That's God. I'm about to go throw some ice in the bathtub with some Gatorade in there that I had in the freezer. Oh, don't put that down. You left me 30 degrees hotter. And you made me think about the John Henry movie. I'll tell you about that later. But that
the Lord Savior.
Don't do that. God.
Nah, I'm not gonna do it. I gotta stop because I don't wanna be wrong and find out really all that is this stuff. Like, forgive me, Scott Daddy. My apologies. I just be kidding. Like, you made this brain. You know it's so special. You gotta forgive me, guy.
Man, I'm hotter than a fat prostitute who just gave the pastor head during communion right now, and got caught.
Wilson. Let's not forget about Pastor Wilson. Just because the church is going on Zoom don't mean he ain't doing things on camera still.
I wonder what he is doing now. That's a good question. Whatever happened?
He's doing stuff on camera.
You think he got an OnlyFans now? I bet he has an OnlyFans now. And that's how he makes money for the church.
Fans only. Oh.
Or fans only, whatever you call it.
I don't know, but I know one thing. Collections, the place that stops since the church been closed. I said out loud.
Say that last part
again.
Hey,
is your church still collecting the building fund?
Say that again.
I said, is your church still collecting the building fund during COVID?
No.
If anybody's church is still doing a building fund offering right now, I'm going to need you to get up and leave that church. Rightfully so.
I'm sure Creflo Dollar is.
As a member of the church association, Baptist Appreciation, I'm telling you, you have the right at this point to leave. Ain't nobody building nothing during COVID. They're getting y'all. But, I mean, whatever.
What about that jet he might need? He needs a new jet build.
Bro, it's getting a little closer to God, ain't it? I don't want up there.
Yeah.
This is why you bring them right now. I can't deal with you. This is exactly why you in hell right now. And that 90-degree weather is on the inside.
I am in hell. Feel like the devil is farting on my head right now.
Not farting on your head.
Farting on my damn head. Yeah, it's hot and it stinks right now. And it's not me.
Ooh, and it stinks?
Huh?
Hot and it stinks?
Yes.
Ooh. That's something serious. You do realize that,
I know.
Right?
I know.
That's a personal problem here.
Okay. Well, all right. We're going.
My Rick Ross voice.
I don't. I feel like Rick Ross right now in sauna. That's what I feel like.
This nigga, he in entanglement with air conditioner.
He's in entanglement.
No, you're not. You wish you were. Huh?
He's in entanglement with a sandwich in a buffet. It's sweaty titties. Yeah, his titties were sweating that whole time he was doing that track. Oh.
Dating somebody I mean, they can't body shame, so I probably still date them. Like, you got titties, I got titties. Like, so we can't body shame at this point. We just accept that who we are and just go.
Well, that's a step closer to dating a stud then.
I mean, it is. It kind of is.
Except his stuff.
Except for, you know, they don't have to wait to strap.
Yeah, his stuff.
So
he got a couple things that grow on him, but usually it's because of too much food. Not because of arousal.
He got thyroid disorder.
Shit, he got a big thigh disorder.
Rude. Rude. Anywho.
Okay. I appreciate you, Ayeshia, for coming on the show again. We're going to do this again. And hopefully it won't turn dark. And I'll have some air conditioning the next time I do this.
Right. And even if it does, I'll have my lights prepared this time. I'll be all right.
Appreciate you coming on. Appreciate everybody listening. Check out Ayeshia Chronicles.
Yes, please.
And they can find you on Facebook. Put in Ayeshia Chronicles. You want to spell that for me?
Man, hashtag AYESHIACHRONICLES. Ayeshia Chronicles.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll put, you know, I'll give you the link to post because people are still going to misspell my name despite of how I spell it out for them. It doesn't matter. But hashtag Ayeshia Chronicles. Look it up. You'll see it. Follow me, like the page, share it. Don't just look in the inbox. I get tired of that. To love the inboxes. No, like, share, haha the page. Let people know it's okay to like it.
Nah, they're gonna DM you.
Don't be looking for me later. Huh?
Nah, you gonna have somebody in the inbox for some entanglements.
And no, I got people that's trying to inbox me, but I'm not like that. No, I just got people that tell me that they like my videos and stuff, but don't tell me in secret. Like, tell the world, like laugh at it, ha ha ha, you know, right. Share it, something. But come in my inbox telling me that I make a day just tells me that you're liking something else. So I usually ignore those people. They usually need green cards anyway. So.
Okay, and make sure to put the Cash App up there too, so they can put some money in there.
Nah, if they feel like if the spirit moved them, it's Cash App Alsina Ayeshia. But you know, who am I? AYESHIA. I mean, but who am I to do that to them? You know, that was on the front. This face right here. Who am I to do all that? But no, nah, we really got to bring the comedy thing in, and I can't wait to do a comedy hostile therapy, sir. I feel rightfully so it's overdue, especially with all this we're going through in COVID. We really need to bring some light to this crazy world we're living in. And for Ayeshia for president, because I am running for president.
I'm ready to do the potty, not the potty, shit, what the hell I'm talking about? The petty podcast. I said potty, but the petty podcast.
Yeah, I've been ready for the petty podcast since the day we met. We got to do it. Like, so as co-host of the Hostile Therapy Show, and I'm gonna take that title on my own because I feel like as many times we do this, I do feel like a co-host. Am I wrong for that?
No, you're not wrong.
You can edit that. Okay, so
keep it in there.
No, I'm really ready. Huh?
No, I'm gonna keep it in there.
Nah, that's
the title. You've already made the title.
Super intrusive.
You've done what Columbus has pretty much done, and you have taken over my land. And we're gonna put it in.
Did you really Columbus me?
Yeah. We're gonna keep your monument up though. We're not gonna take it down. We're gonna make a whole day for you.
You're right. I don't even care no more. Yeah, this is Juneteenth right here, okay?
Silly.
No, but seriously, I'm really ready for a Petty Chronicle. So
All right.
it is what it is.
All right, we'll do that. Appreciate everybody showing up and listening to us. We'll see you on the next podcast. Peace out. To see this and more of my content, go to my YouTube page at Hostile Therapy with Big Red and click like and subscribe.